Hello my guys, gals, and non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. In this video, I try taking inspiration from the month of June and turning it into a drawing. This video is in a series and I've done every month from March to June so far, so go check out the other ones if you haven't. Also, please make sure you're subscribed. So far, 100% of my viewers are subscribed. So if you're not subscribed, don't be that one person. And on with the video. So when I thought of June, I kind of just thought of everything being hot, having no motivation and like little work to do. So just kind of sitting around with way too much free time, boiling alive. And so that's just what I drew. I drew someone outside in the heat, sweating, just looking like they want to die with nothing to do. So first of all, this is the first time I've like drawn hair that's like sprawled out across the floor, I guess. I don't know. I don't usually do anything too intricate with hair or anything special, so I've never really drawn hair that's not just in a normal position on the head, which is kind of weird to think about. So that was something new to try, and don't know how well I did. I think I needed to shade it a bit better to have that really work. It doesn't look too bad. It's not really noticeable, but if you sit there and kind of look at it, it can be, noticeable that something's wrong. Also, I decided to give them a shirt with a rainbow on it because it is Pride Month. I had to, put in reference to that somewhere, and where else to put it than on the shirt. So, a big thing for the strong sense, it was kind of more on the simple side. Most of these I've focused a lot on the background, but this I didn't really do that for. Like this whole series, a lot of it is just me working on my background drawing skills. This one is not that. So I want to make sure I did put plenty of effort into other things. Did I put that much effort in though? Not really. Look at that like wiggly line art for those arms. I put more effort the more I was getting into the drawing because I was actually liking how it, looks. So I did put a lot of effort into the colors. Mainly, I made everything like yellowy mostly and purple, and then there's also green, and there's the rainbow on their shirt, but mainly everything's green, yellow, and purple. There's also hints of other colors, but mainly. The point is mainly. And honestly, I think that looking at the character and the combination of the purple and the line art and the shirt and then the yellow, it's very appealing. I love it when there's a good color palette. I spent quite a bit of time on the shading. I wanted it to be a good blend of not too harsh, but also harsh enough. Because, I have a bad habit of not really pushing my shading so it's not very noticeable. And yeah, I won't lie, in a lot of areas, shading here is not noticeable. But I'm trying. One of the biggest struggles though was getting their bangs, like the top of the head with the curve of the hair, getting those to be in like the right positions with each other, because the gap between like the sides of the bangs and that, I want to have it, balanced between them well enough so that it didn't look wrong, which was hard, but also like having the curvature of everything look right together. God, it was hard. You can't see the undoing I do on Ibis paint, but oh my god, I did so much undoing. It was a nightmare. Speaking of the hair texture does turn out a bit wonky, there's always some messy bits, especially at the like top of the head. We always just ignore it. It's not there. You don't need to focus on it. Honestly though, most of the hair here is worse than I usually do because trying to follow the, direction that the hair's going was really difficult since, I'm not used to this and I didn't look up references. I'm a failure to all artists. But I didn't look up references because I don't know, I'm just lazy. It sounds like a lot of work. So I didn't know exactly where the hair was going, what it was up to. Yeah, it's not great. Honestly, this drawing was pretty simple, not gonna lie. I mean, it took a lot of time with all the detail in like the grass, which you'll see later. But it was mostly pretty mindless, and the parts that actually took effort were done pretty sloppily, not gonna lie. I mean, I still really like how this turns out. It's one of my favorite I've done in this series, I think. Mainly because there's just a lot of bad elements to them a lot of the times. Like, there's always good parts, of course. But a lot of the times there's also just these negatives that drag it down. And this obviously has that, but a lot of the negatives are just less noticeable, and a lot of the things I went for were less challenging. Like, this is very much like in my comfort zone. And yeah, sure, there was a lot missing to make it better. It's not gonna lie, I did forget to do a lot of shading, like underneath her, and a lot of the shading in her hair. But overall, what I did forget didn't hurt the drawing too much, I don't think. Also, side note, this character looks like flipping, what's her name, Micah from like the Four of Them or whatever it's called, that webtoon. I just kept thinking about that while drawing them because like the colors and haircut are like, I don't know, exactly the same. Just had to get it out there. But as I said earlier, I did forget to do shading in the hair and underneath her. So obviously she's sitting in grass, but I kind of got really focused on doing the grass texture and completely forgot about doing any kind of shading. So yeah, that's just kind of not there, but the grass texture does kind of, mask the fact that I totally forgot about doing that. And with the hair, it's a similar situation. I got really distracted focusing on, making it look right with how the hair flowed and where all the dimension and stuff in it was, that I forgot to do the actual bulk of the shading on there. And, the hair texture does kind of distract, but this one is a lot more noticeable because it needed to have shading done to make it work right, but I'm a dum-dum and forgot. I won't lie, this drawing was done pretty quickly. Since I took a week off, it messed up my schedule a lot, so I did have to rush this video since it is one that has like a set date where it needs to come out. So yeah, things did get a little messed up and I did have to hurry through this one. Not to mention, I feel like this drawing represents it well, but during summer, I can find it really hard to get motivated. I mean, let's be real, I think every video I make, I'm like, I'm kind of burnt out right now, guys. But especially during the summer where it feels like there's so much time and there's not really so much I want to do, but I just want to lay down and do nothing all day pretty much. So it can be really easy to neglect the things I need to work on. And when I do work on it, it means I have to crunch it. So the grass texture, I did my fairly standard grass texture. I just did like 3 different shades of green and did lines of them throughout the thing. Did it take forever? Yes. Was it incredibly tedious? Yes. But when I thought of this drawing originally, my big goals were like, I guess not goals, but the ambitious things I went for were the hair and the grass, and I want to put the most focus into those, though the hair kind of didn't get as much love, I won't lie. But the grass, I really want to make that very grassy looking. So yeah, I spent a lot of time on it, but I had nothing else to do. I just put on a podcast and powered through it. It wasn't too much work. And I do like how it turns out. I think, especially when I put the grass that's, on top of her, I think it really ties everything together and hides the fact that I forgot to shade it. Oh, I'm never gonna let that go. It's gonna annoy me. Maybe I can fix it off camera. Nah, I don't have motivation. It's fine. This is all I'm motivated to do. Also, watching the flipping grass being made, I'm not gonna lie, it's incredibly satisfying to me. Don't know if anyone else feels this way, but just look at that. It's so lovely to look at. Just all these little lines slowly being made and it all coming together. I was really worried when I added the first color because I'm like, this doesn't look that good. This doesn't look grassy enough. But I think when I added in the lighter color, everything got better. I was really worried because there's a lot of times where I have ambitions for a drawing, and then slowly I realize I'm not that good of an artist. I can't do these things. I know push yourself and all, but I did push myself and it's still not reaching the point I wanted. But this was a case where I think it worked out. This drawing was, in a lot of ways, what I wanted it to be, so I'm proud of myself. Don't want to say, oh yeah, I'm so proud of myself for this drawing, I did so good. Well, because it's not greatest drawing, but I kind of did some of the things I wanted, so good enough for me. Anyway, if you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. Also, all my social media are in the description below, so go follow some of them. I post all the artwork onto Instagram, so go check that out. And I will see you all in the next video.